I, 24 female, am engaged to Jess, 26 female, and want my uncle, 49, to walk me down the aisle. Let's get into the backstory. When I was younger, I had a twin brother, James, who had a heart condition. My parents obviously cared about James more than me. They would shower him with love and attention while I was the black sheep. Eventually, when we were 9, his condition got worse, so he was in and out of the hospital. My parents then shipped me off to live with my uncle and his wife, Sarah, 46. It was the best thing to ever happen to me when I started living with them. My uncle and his wife gave me love and attention, something I had desired for the longest time. Eventually, my brother got better, but they never came back to get me and completely abandoned me. I hadn't seen them in 5 years. When I was 16, they wanted to contact me, but I didn't want to. My uncle pressured me into it, so I did start having contact. Well, let's fast forward to the present. As I said before, I'm engaged to Jess. I recently had dinner with my dad, and we were talking about the engagement. Midway into it, he asked if he could walk me down the aisle. I laughed and asked him why he deserved to, and reminded him that he had completely abandoned me. I told him my uncle would be the one to give me away. He and my mom ended up leaving early. My brother called and said I was an idiot and my dad deserved this right. I hung up and blocked him. Am I the idiot here? Not the idiot. Tell your dad he already gave you away when you were 9. This time you want your uncle to do the honors. I agree. He's trying to backtrack without putting in the effort to repair our relationship. Did they ever ask if I wanted to go home or keep in touch? Of course not. And I don't understand why they would assume I would be okay with that. Exactly this. I understand their son was in and out of hospitals, but they didn't bother to pick me up when he was well. Deadbeat dads don't get to walk their daughters down the aisle. The only right they have at this point is the right to leave. I find the tradition of giving the bride away outdated, but if anyone deserves the honor, it's my uncle, as he's been a father figure in my life. Could my dad be embarrassed if others saw my uncle walk me down the aisle instead of him? It's possible, but it shouldn't matter. I'm confused by the unequal treatment of their children. One is showered with love and the other is ignored for 7 years. It feels like there's a missing piece of the puzzle. Did my parents never want to raise a daughter? I disagree. You can have whomever you want to walk you down the aisle. That said, it is worth saying that extremely sick kid versus healthy kid situations are complicated. It can often feel like the parents love the sick child more. Your parents were probably aware of how you were responding to this situation and didn't want you to suffer because of all the attention they had to give to James's sickness. They arranged for you to stay with family, and that usually requires quite a lot of behind-the-scenes details that you probably never knew about, from your legal care to healthcare, guardianship, education, etc. I'd bet that your uncle and his wife were probably in contact quite a bit with your parents about you and just never told you. Once James got better, you were already very happy with your current living situation. Selfish parents would probably want to take you back home, but I'd be willing to bet that they had a long conversation about it and figured you seemed happier where you were, and they likely didn't want to uproot your life again, especially if there was any chance of James getting sick again. Overall, your parents likely love you very much, and the way things went down felt like abandonment. But they were trying to give you a happy life. So, if that's really the reality here, then what you said might feel like they're getting punished by you for doing what they thought was best. No. OP, your parents didn't bother to see you for 5 years, so if it felt like they abandoned you, it's because they did. Phone call and basic communication skills exist. They could have contacted OP. No contact was their choice. And then they wanted to come back from the woodwork as if nothing happened and feel entitled to a position they didn't fulfill. If they were the people you're saying they are, they wouldn't be offended by OP's choice. They didn't want the walk, but they want to talk the talk about being OP's parents. We went to my parents' place for lunch last weekend. My sister's daughter, Ella Tween, has unfortunately been fighting a rare form of cancer for the past 2 years. She's lost her hair, wears a wig, and is never seen without it. Since her cancer diagnosis, Ella has unfortunately become quite nasty. I understand she's scared and probably very angry about how her life has turned out. Still, she terrorizes her cousins, particularly my pre-tween, Haley. We should have put a stop to this a long time ago, but it's hard to tell off a sick kid and not look like the bad guy. The kids were playing outside when we heard someone crying. Ella had dared Haley to lick a muddy puddle and had gotten the rest of the kids to demand she did it. They were all egging her on, and Ella had my sister's phone and was filming it. When the adults came outside, I took Haley and made it clear she didn't have to do anything and that this game stopped immediately. Ella still had the phone and was filming us and said, maybe we'll make her do it later. Haley was still crying her eyes out. She let go of me, ran up to Ella, pulled her wig off, and threw it in the puddle. Ella started screaming and ran to her parents. She was hyperventilating and screaming for her parents to stop everyone from looking at her. They took Ella into a room to calm her down, but my parents were mad at Haley. They said taking Ella's wig off was a disgusting thing to do. They said Haley has no idea what Ella has to face every day. My dad has also survived cancer, so this is quite personal to him. Ella's parents said their daughter didn't want anyone to see her. They said Ella's traumatized by everyone seeing her without her hair. My sister called Haley a horrible child and said that only an evil person would think about taking a little girl's wig off who's suffering from cancer. I defended Haley and said that Ella and the others were clearly bullying and tormenting her, but my sister said that it's not her or her daughter's problem if Haley can't handle girly teasing. My parents, sister, and brother-in-law agreed, and they want a written apology from Haley to Ella, which, quote, shows that she understands what a cruel thing she did. I said that that was not going to happen. We left with Haley, but I'm still seething. I'm truly sorry that Ella is going through cancer. She was tormenting my daughter, ganging up on her, and filming the whole thing. Haley obviously shouldn't have taken the wig, but she was very upset and bullied. Not the idiot. She threatened to force a younger child into doing something as disgusting as that, while also constantly acting out towards her for no reason. So, it was completely fair that your daughter did that to her. Karma's a witch. Haley can't handle girly teasing. Well, I don't know what kind of friends your sister had growing up, but in my experience, it was the bullies doing things like trying to make another kid lick a puddle. This is not girly teasing. I'm guessing I know where the attitude towards others comes from. Now, it's been over 2 decades since I was either of these two girls' ages, but girly teasing was, OMG, you like Toby? Jake is cuter. Demanding someone lick a muddy puddle while filming it is so far from girly teasing and much closer to extreme bullying and humiliation. I can only presume the niece was filming it so she can use it against the daughter in the future, or look back and laugh. Either way, disgusting. And having cancer, as unfortunate and horrendous as that is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. Everyone is an idiot here. You all are terrible parents. Your sister is raising a bully with the excuse of cancer. You are allowing your child to be bullied with the excuse of cancer. You all need to do better with your children. This was also my thought. The bullying should have been stopped a long time ago. Everyone is an idiot here, except for Haley. Her behavior was a desperate attempt to stop bullying, in my opinion, so I don't really blame her, even though it was obviously a bad thing to do. The good news is, it worked as a wake-up call for you to start protecting your child. Don't apologize until Ella apologizes for all of her behavior, and then intervene immediately if this behavior starts again. List every incident you can recall and give the list to your family with a request that Ella needs to write an apology for each one. My sister-in-law's sisters are absolutely terrible. Most of what I hear about them is from my brother, but I was very involved in their wedding, and yeah, they were not pleasant. Anyways, my sister-in-law gave birth to twin boys 6 months ago. Her sisters still need to meet them, but my sister-in-law does send them pictures. She usually only sends pictures of the boys, but apparently she sent a family photo with her, and the two sisters started to make fun of her weight, being the odd one out in terms of looks. And yeah, apparently my sister-in-law cried a lot and my brother blocked them on her phone. Sadly, the damage was done. She became very self-conscious of her weight. She is now on a diet and exercises more than I think is appropriate. She has already lost a lot of weight, but I don't think she plans on stopping. My brother is trying to support her and tells her she shouldn't listen to her sisters. She tells him that they are right and doesn't understand how he is okay with her appearance. She unblocked her sisters behind my brother's back and texted them often for advice, which is just them shaming her. I only know about this because her phone was blowing up, so I grabbed it to give it to her and noticed the names on the notifications and asked her. She admitted it and begged me not to tell my brother. She told me to keep it between us girls, claiming my brother wouldn't understand. I just said sure, but my brother told me she is getting worse and it is really depressing. I told my brother and he was very thankful. I don't know what happened between them, but my sister-in-law called me sometime later and it was clear she had been crying. She said that I promised to keep it a secret, and she couldn't believe that I had broken her trust like that. She said that she was even more offended that I didn't keep my promise, that I didn't trust her and told on her like she was some baby. When I tried explaining that I was concerned, she told me to shut up and said that there was nothing to be concerned about and that I should mind my own business from now on, instead of snooping through her phone and manipulating her trust. She seemed really distressed, and I couldn't help but feel like I messed things up. Maybe I shouldn't have told my brother. I clearly don't understand what she's going through, and maybe she has a valid reason for not telling her husband. I don't know. She's never ever yelled like that before. And my heart still hurts. Am I the idiot? Edit. I told my brother because he was falling apart from the stress of caring for her and their kids. He was worried about certain things she was saying and how she was in a way scared of her kids. Her own kids. She thinks those little babies care about how much she weighs. Her sisters are fueling this. And what would your kids think? Sounds like something they'd tell her. So it didn't feel right not to let him know. Not the idiot? Your sister-in-law needs professional help. Maybe she suffers from postpartum depression. Her sisters influence her mental health badly, but she relies on them for external validation. A therapist could help her unpack that. Hiding the fact that she's back in contact with her toxic sisters from her husband prevents him from successfully supporting her. She had twins 6 months ago. The things her body went through to get those boys here safely was no easy task, and she nor anyone else should expect her to be back in shape so soon. I'm not sure if she's breastfeeding or pumping, but that's another reason she needs to support and love herself. Her sisters are either jealous or just evil. Your brother is worried about his wife. Men can also have PPD, and it may be affecting him as well. So many things can happen mentally in this postpartum period. I hope your brother and sister-in-law get the help they need. You did the right thing. Male 22, have been friends with this guy, Dan, male 22, since we were little kids. I've always had a crass sense of humor. It's never really been a problem, but I'm the irreverent comedian in our friend group. Again, all my friends know this. A few weeks ago, I made a joke about Dan's girlfriend, or rather her sister. Dan was taken aback and said, "Dude, what the heck?" I laughed, but he kept saying that it was super messed up of me. I basically said, "Well, thank you," and moved on, but he was acting weird for the rest of the night. A few days later, he came and asked me to apologize for my joke, and I told him to screw off. Then he told our whole friend group that he wouldn't be hanging out with us anymore and name-dropped me as the reason why. The reason why this got me super upset is because the next time my friends and I were together, we were talking about it, and the beer was flowing. So I texted his girlfriend some things that I admittedly maybe shouldn't have. It wasn't anything super disgusting or vile, and she didn't respond, so I didn't think anything of it. However, fast forward to last week, and I learned that Dan sent screenshots of every politically incorrect joke I had made to the dean of our school. He also sent my girlfriend things that I had said about other girls and videos of me hanging out and messing around with other girls after my girlfriend and I had gotten together. I am furious and have no idea what to do. My work has a morals clause and he knows this, so he is risking my entire career over a simple joke. My friends are on my side and say he is totally in the wrong. I'm trying to make things right with my girlfriend, but she currently thinks I am in the wrong. The joke itself is not important. To be fair, I only texted his girlfriend because I had too much to drink and was upset, but I didn't antagonize her or anything. However, he is risking my job, career, and relationship over a single joke instead of letting it go. Wow, you avoided saying the joke? That bad, huh? You are the idiot. The fact that you don't want to say what the original joke was or what you said to his girlfriend when you were upset and had too much to drink is rather telling. As for the whole job at risk thing, well, it sounds like the consequences of your own actions are coming back to bite you in the butt. Yeah, I'm curious about what the joke was, too. Why won't you say the joke? Suspicious. I have a crass sense of humor and everyone knows this. It could be translated to I'm an idiot all the time. And I expect people to accept this. Your sense of humor isn't funny, it's hurtful. You are about to get a reality check. If other people see the joke and don't laugh, and instead it leads to you being fired or your girlfriend breaking up with you, then you are being gross rather than funny. Well, I raise a glass to Dan and all the women who can't take a joke. Dan sent screenshots of every politically incorrect joke I had made to the dean of our school. He also sent my girlfriend things that I had said about other girls and videos of me hanging out and messing around with other girls. Dan is a freaking rock star and a hero to women who have to put up with idiots like you everywhere. I have 2 daughters with 2 different women, Jade and Elle, who are 1 year apart in age. Both girls are in the same grade since Jade skipped a grade. Jade is very smart and extremely competitive, while Elle is not competitive. A while ago, there was a test in their school. The test covered all the subjects that they have learned this year, and all of the kids in their grade had to take it. Yesterday, they received the results. First, Elle arrived and happily told me that she was 17th in their grade. I congratulated her and expressed how proud I was of her. Then Jade came, and she was crying her eyes out and went to her room without saying anything. I thought something bad had happened, but Elle told me that Jade was crying because she came in 2nd in their grade. That night, I decided to take her to her favorite restaurant to celebrate and cheer her up a bit. So the 3 of us went to celebrate. Then I took the girls to their moms' homes. An hour later, Elle's mom called me to tell me I was an idiot for only celebrating Jade. I explained to her that it's not like we ordered a cake with Jade's name on it or didn't take Elle with us. It was just dinner with both of the girls, and Jade was the one who was upset and did a better job. So of course we would go to her favorite restaurant. Am I the idiot for only celebrating one of my daughters? You are the idiot. It's totally normal for one child to excel in a certain area and another child to excel in different areas. As a parent, it's important to show love and appreciation for both of your daughters, not just the one you believe is better at something. Your decision to only celebrate Jade's achievement was an idiotic move, especially since Elle was there the entire time and equally participated in the test. Elle must have felt disappointed when her sister's achievement overshadowed her own. For example, my daughter raised her math grade from a D to a B, while my son came home with his usual straight A report card and apologized for only getting 92% in reading this quarter. Guess who got to choose dinner? Both of them. They both did a great job. So on Friday, she chose dinner and he chose dessert, and on Saturday, he chose dinner and she chose dessert. It would be so easy for my daughter to feel inferior to her brother if I only praised him for his usual straight A report card and barely acknowledged her improvement. This is similar to what you did with your girls.